Well, hello, hello. Welcome to the first episode of the Black Hole Podcast. This is my first podcast about my passion on video games. This is your host, The Dark Void. On my first episode, I've decided to talk about the next generation of consoles and on Nintendo and the mysterious holiday games for 2020. So first, I would like to talk about Sony and the PlayStation 5. Me personally, I'm not excited about the PS5 this year. Now, don't get me wrong. I love the design of the console, and I love the controller and the opportunities and the amazing features that it brings to the table. But I'm not seeing that killer game that makes me say I must own a PS5 this year. At launch, it looks like we're going to have mainly two killer apps, and there's going to be Spider-Man Miles Morales, which let's face it, that's technically DLC from the original Spider-Man game, and the new Ratchet and Clank. Those two games look fun, but to me, they don't have that big it factor that makes me say I must own a PlayStation 5. Also, was holding back the excitement for the PS5, and this also is for Microsoft and the Xbox, is the release date and the price. They're playing chicken with each other. I don't know why. Someone needs to come out with the release date and the price so they can steal the thunder from their competition. But whatever, they're just playing chicken right now, which is odd. Now I hope that in August during that rumor state of play, Sony comes out swinging hard. And what I mean is that they need that big killer game. And it doesn't need to come out day one with the PlayStation 5, but it needs to come out within the first 9 months. And two games I can see that really doing it is a new Uncharted game with a fresh, new, exciting story, or a true next gen revamped Killzone. Now this is a conspiracy theory, but also I think a new Sly Cooper would help. I love that game. I would love to see a brand new Sly Cooper announced for the PS5 as well. Now on to the price of the PlayStation 5. I think the price is going to be $499 for the dish version and $399 for the all digital. If it's beyond $500, Sony is in trouble because with COVID-19 still going around and the uncertainty of jobs and money in this economy that we have, I don't see customers paying beyond $500 for a new console. That will be suicide. The same goes for Microsoft too. They both need to come out with a fair price for all the customers and engage their customers with excitement with their new consoles. Next, we're going to move over to Microsoft. Microsoft just had their big gaming showcase this past Thursday. And I hate to say this, but it kind of fell flat. First off, they showed off Halo Infinite. The gameplay and the open world looks amazing. Don't get me wrong, but the character designs look so poor. Like they're just like, ugh, like why did you do that? You could have just waited and polished this game a little bit more before you showed it off, but they did anyway. They also did announce some new exciting games, but there was one big problem: no gameplay. Like Obsidian's new RPG, Avowed. I hope I said that right. I don't know if I said that right, but Avowed. Or if you want to be better, let's call it Elder Scrolls. Let's call it a better Elder Scrolls. Let's put it like that. No Todd Howard. That game did get me excited, but there was no gameplay behind it. Same goes to the new horror game they have coming out called The Medium, which I love old school horror games. But again, they show hardly no gameplay. Everything else they showed kind of fell flat. State of Decay 3, I'm tired of these open world zombie games. They need to go away. I'm not excited for State of Decay 3. Fable did not excite me. I have been burned by Fable so many times from Fable 1 all the way to Fable 3. Yeah, Peter Molyneux's not evolved, but I'm still not excited. I've been burned way too many times. I'm like the jilted lover. Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, what the hell was I thinking? I'm not excited about the new Fable game. I'm sorry. Hellblade Senua Saga. Again, they didn't show nothing. It fell flat on his ass. The only thing they said was it's announced for Unreal Engine 5. Wow, no gameplay. And I loved Hellblade Senua Sacrifice. I love that game, but you just came out and announced that that thing was just moving from Unreal Engine 5. You could put that in a tweet. You could have put that in a tweet, Microsoft. You know better. You know better. But overall, what sold Microsoft as a next-gen system to me was not the console, not the games. One main feature that has them leading over Sony right now, and that's Microsoft Game Pass. That is the killer app, and that's why Microsoft is ahead of Sony in my book going into this next generation. because with Game Pass, you're going to have every first-person Microsoft title, along with some big third parties, if they can convince them to come over and keep them on Game Pass. Because I've been realizing now a lot of good high-powered games been leaving Game Pass. But if they manage to keep these games on Game Pass for $15 a month, Microsoft is going to steal that thunder away from Sony. Also, what's helping Microsoft as well is xCloud. With xCloud, that is a huge win to partner with Game Pass, because with xCloud, any gamer can play any game at home on their Xbox or PC, or on the go on their smartphone with their subscription service. And just imagine, folks, if Game Pass, along with xCloud, comes to the Nintendo Switch. If that comes to the Nintendo Switch, xCloud, that would be a huge, huge win for Microsoft. They would tap into the whole Nintendo market along with the Japanese market. And I think it would do better to have Game Pass along with xCloud on the Switch, because the Japanese consumers trust Nintendo more than Microsoft, and that would be colossal for Microsoft. Microsoft would have so much of a bigger foothold. It's scary. Let's put it like that. It's going to outshine Stadia no matter what, because Stadia is garbage. But Microsoft is playing the long game, to where they're not trying to sell you the system. They're trying to sell you the service, and it looks like it is working hard. So even though this is my first podcast, my first discussion, I'm going to keep this short. So we talked about Sony and Microsoft. Now we're going to move over to Nintendo and their mysterious 2020 games. I know a lot of my fans, a lot of my fellow gamers are kind of PO'd because Nintendo hasn't really announced anything. And I'm not that worried, because yeah, we have a pandemic going on right now, and Nintendo does value their employees more than Sony, Microsoft, and God forbid Ubisoft. Because people can say, oh, Ubisoft figured it out, but oh well, we're not going to get into that. But I think Nintendo does have a few big key lineup games they're going to announce this year for their 2020 releases. And for starters, we're going to talk about the rumored Mario 35th Anniversary Collection. That's going to be a very big holiday title, because let's face it, Mario sells no matter what he does. Even if he's playing golf, Mario is going to sell. So you're going to see the Mario 35th Anniversary game. A lot of people keep talking about it's not going to be a big deal, but it's going to be a big deal. The first Mario game they're going to release is going to be Mario 35th, Mario All-Stars HD, which is going to be a revamped, with a fresh coat of paint Mario 64, Sunshine, and Galaxy. I'm not sold on Sunshine. Don't get me wrong. Sunshine is a very good game, but I don't think it should be a part of this collection. I think it should be Mario 64, along with Mario Galaxy 1 and 2. If they want to do Sunshine, they can do Sunshine, but I'm not feeling Sunshine. I think it should be Galaxy 1 and 2 in this collection. And as a standalone, they're going to release Mario 3D World HD Definitive Edition with new features, new content. Both of those I feel they're going to release in September, and those are going to be very two major hitters from Nintendo. People are also saying Pikmin 3 Deluxe. Personally, I don't think we're going to see Pikmin 3. I think they're going to leave Pikmin 3 on the Wii U where it should belong, and they're going to say, hey, here's Pikmin 4. Pikmin 4 is finally going to be released. Everybody should be happy about that. I'm not a big Pikmin fan, but I'm not a huge Pikmin fan, but I hope my fellow Pikmin lovers love that game if it does exist. So no Pikmin 3 Deluxe, Pikmin 4 is going to be a holiday game. We're not going to see Zelda Breath of the Wild 2 this year. I'm sorry, folks. I know y'all want to see it, but I don't see it. And the reason why I say I don't see it, because next year is Zelda's 30th anniversary. And they're going to save that for their back pocket for next year. So next year you're going to see Zelda Breath of the Wild 2, along with another Zelda game. Now this is a conspiracy theory, but I feel they're going to release another Zelda game as well, along with Zelda Breath of the Wild 2. And it's either going to be a full-blown remake of Zelda 2 Adventure Link from the NES, or Oracle of Ages and Oracle of Seasons from the GBA with the full Link's Awakening treatment. That's what I can see happening next year for Zelda. So Zelda Breath of the Wild 2, not this year. That's going to be a 2021 game. Also, I feel it in my bones. Folks. I mean deep in my bones, that Bayonetta 3 will be an October game. I feel Bayonetta 3 is going to come out this year, and it's going to be an October game. That's going to be Nintendo's technically Halloween game. And I think that's gonna. We're not gonna see Mario Kart 9. I think it's too soon for that. Mario Kart 9 they gonna keep it in their back pocket. It might be a 2021 game, or they might release a new Mario Baseball, Mario Tennis, or Mario Strikers game. I hope it's Strikers, because Strikers was better. Strikers was a better game. Now, from Nintendo's third-party partners, I know Bethesda still has some games now, like Doom Eternal, which you're going to see that very soon. I know that. But I think the other Bethesda game I can see them releasing is going to be one of two things. One, which I hope this is a Dishonored collection, which will have games of Dishonored 1, Dishonored 2 with all the DLCs, or Fallout 3 Anniversary, or a brand new Experience Fallout game for the Switch. I hope it's Fallout New Orleans, because I know a lot of people want to see a Fallout game there in New Orleans. I would love to see that myself. EA, yeah, we know they're bringing Apex Legends. I don't care about that, but there's another rumor I've been hearing around that they're going to bring over Plants vs. Zombies Battle for Neighborville, which is Plants vs. Zombie. I never liked that game. It's okay, don't get me wrong, but I just never been a fan of it. Square Enix, I really don't know what they're gonna have for the Switch for this year. I know we got Bravely Default 2, and that's about it. I can see them sneaking in some surprises like a new Chrono Trigger, but don't hold your breath on that, folks. What I think Square Enix might release this year for the Switch is gonna be Kingdom Hearts 1 and 2. And I'm saying that I do not like Kingdom Hearts. I'm sorry. I'm not a fan of Disney characters. I hope it gets announced for my fellow Kingdom Hearts listeners and everything. I hope you get what you want, but I'm not a fan of it. Let's see, what else? Ubisoft, they bring in Just Dance. Woo. And for all the people who love Just Dance, I hate the Just Dance series. I don't care less. But that's all I can think they can see them bringing. They're not going to bring Watch Dogs 2 or anything like that. Activision, there's Activision. I can give two shits about Activision. Let's see, who else? Capcom, there's been a rumored about Monster Hunter, which I can see them doing a very good Monster Hunter games built up for the Switch. That's going to be exclusive. They might do a new Resident Evil that's Switch eccentric. I hope so, because I know Resident Evil 8 or Village, whatever the heck it's called, is not coming. But I can see them doing that, or a new Mega Man game. That might also get announced as well. I can see that. Let's see, who am I missing? Take-Two, they're bringing NBA 2K, but I don't know what the hold up is. Me, like my fellow gamers, I wish they just bring over Grand Theft Auto, which is like, I wish they could do a Grand Theft Auto collection, which is like Grand Theft Auto 3, sadly, Grand Theft Auto Vice City, which I loved, Grand Theft Auto San Andreas, which I loved, Grand Theft Auto 4, they can keep that, but I know it's going to come over, and Grand Theft Auto 5, but you do that like one big collection, or just really Grand Theft Auto 3 through 4 on the eShop, and just have 5 on a standalone cart. And I know a lot of people will be happy about that. Let's see, who else? Call of Duty is not coming. I know that's not, because that's Activision. I don't like Call of Duty anyway. You're shooting brown people for no reason. I would like to see Madden on the Switch, but again, that's EA. They don't care. I know, go back to Take-Two. I know there's been some rumblings of a Bully game. I don't personally see that, because Bully was not that big of a franchise to begin with. Don't get me wrong, I enjoyed it for what it was, but do we really need a new Bully game? Just ask ourselves that. Same thing goes for Manhunt. Now, you know what I'd like to see redone and brought to the Switch? A Prince of Persia collection, which entails of Sands of Time, Warrior Within, and the Two Thrones. But again, that's Ubisoft, so damn. That's all the good games I want won't come over. That sucks. Alrighty, folks. Like I said, this was my first podcast, and I wanted to keep it short. I would be trying to do these things either weekly or bi-weekly. I haven't decided yet. But I think my next episode, I'm gonna do like the top 10 boss battles of all time and go in detail why these boss battles meant so much to me. So with that, I'm gonna cut this podcast off. Thank you for listening to the very first episode of the Black Hole Podcast. And again, life is always good in the void. Thank you and have a good day.